Hi, this is James Page with Total Telecom here at Mobile World Congress 2024. We're here for a very special media event with Huawei, and we're going to be looking at leading infrastructure to accelerate electric power intelligence.
My name is Rashid Alahmedi. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of InfraX. It's a subsidiary under a group called Digital DEWA. It's a holding company with three main subsidiaries. Moro, it's a data center business where we are utilizing the green energized data center as a trend of putting green cloud and green digital solution, utilizing the green generation of powers that has happened under our mother company, which is Dubai Electricity and Water Authority. As you know, part of the strategy that Dubai to put itself on the green map and the green ecosystem is there was an ambition that we are be running 100% over green energy generation sources by 2050. And as of today, we are generating around 2,600 megawatt from solar sources, green sources, and the ambition that by 2030 we reach 50 megawatt. So probably and hopefully we're gonna achieve this target even beyond the due date. All of these ambitions is being powered by considering even though the impact that the Emirates is an oil producer and exporter, but eliminating that factor, we took the initiative in DEWA to look into the sustainability agenda and make sure that also we are align our digital transformation with the demand of the city when it comes to the agenda from sustainability and green point of view. So all of this demand now from generating green power would need to also be taken in consideration. What are the elements of technology that will help in accelerating and producing the efficiency to be able to generate the green sources of energy with the same efficiency that is used to be happening from the conventional way of generating electricity. And definitely AI will touch based on that. I'm giving you an example that we have Mohammed bin Rashid Solar Park is the area where we are generating our solar and green energy and serving the grid. And as you know, the weather in the Middle East, and especially in the GCC, has a lot of condition when it comes to the sun density and the environment. And therefore, when you look into be able to predict weather, for example, utilizing AI, if you need to look into the demand that may come from the city and correlate that with the ability to generate or produce the energy from those sources, there should be some sort of correlation that's happening between such technologies, such resources, and how we can predict that demand and be able to understand that, okay, today it's a rainy day, probably we will not be able to produce the energy, let's go back to the conventional power plant and start to produce the energy that the city will require. So those kind of decision making that need to be happening on a regular basis, and to be able to do so, you need to utilize a lot of data sources and to connect the non-connected. And we're not talking about only the smart meter, for example. Now we are also part of the activity that is being done today between us and Huawei to create the greenest data center or to produce some sort of services that correlate the sources of data from different government entity sources. So, for example, Mr. Arey talked about the demand of EV when it comes to the city. But today, how you will be able to know that when you're gonna park at your home, you will charge or not charge? You need to know the data from the car, as it has been charged while you're in the office, or no, you will need to have some sort of juice once you reach the home. So you need to transfer the grid with the transfer of the car. Today you are in the office, you want to charge there, you need the grid to be closer to the office. Tomorrow or at night, you need to be closer to the home. So those kind of decision making, those kind of smart grid to go beyond the normal intelligence of making sure that we have efficiency, but to actually direct the power to the right location. This will require the empowerment of artificial intelligence. Will be require the empowerment of Internet of Things, and to connect different data sources and to store these data on data centers that is efficient and green and correlate these data together. So looking into all of these aspects, we look into Huawei as a trusted partner to create an agenda that we can drive with our partners and with different ecosystem players, and provide this as a platform for the smart city. And this is the ambition when we created such entity under a utility business called Digital DEWA. It was part of a program called Dubai 10X, which the ambition of this program is to put Dubai 10 years ahead of other cities when it comes to the digital transformation. So this is just an example of how we are utilizing the AI and the contribution of our partners such as Huawei to elevate and improve and accelerate the adaptation of energy and green sources. Thank you.
And that's the end of the session, but pleased to say that Mr. Alahmedi's managed to find a few minutes to talk to us a little bit more at Total Telecom, so we're gonna carry on the discussion. Thanks for taking a few minutes to come and talk to us. Really interesting session, lots to pick out of it, but I wanted to start from just about the top and to see if you could explain to me a bit more about Digital DEWA, and it has 4 key pillars that fit underneath it. It'd be lovely to find out some more.
Well, Digital DEWA has been built on 4 main pillars, as you mentioned, James. The first one is solar energy. And this is a reflected part of the agenda that Dubai Electricity and Water Authorities put to become a sustainable and a green utility. So within this pillar, there is an activities considered like the Mohammed bin Rashid Solar Park, is one of the largest single-sited parks in the world, producing more than 2,600 megawatt as of today, with ambition to become 50 megawatt solar planet by 2030, and putting this as one of the pillars that will enable Dubai green agenda to become 100% powered from green sources by 2050. The second pillar is energy storage, and as you know, in the region, in the Emirates and especially Dubai, we utilized a lot of sun to produce our green and solar energy. So what about the night activities? So that's why it goes hand in hand with the first pillar about the energy storage and the technology of energy storage, how we can produce efficient battery and how we can store the green energy that will help us to reutilize them and to also manage the demand of the activity across the day, either it's on the day or on the night. The third pillar is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence and AI touch base in all our activity when it comes to our operation and how we can produce that efficiency, how we can predict the consumption, how we can ensure that the data sets that we are taking is being processed in a way that will help us to produce the energy and deliver it to our customer in the most efficient manner. Finally, and the fourth pillar, it's the digital services. And this is where we produced the subsidiaries under Digital DEWA to focus on harvesting the 3 pillars that we talked about, solar and energy storage and AI, to produce now digital solutions and digital services. And that's why InfraX is now put on the ecosystem of Digital DEWA to utilize the energy digitization transformation activity and develop services and solutions that will be produced to offset the potential reduction on revenue that may come by transforming ourselves to solar energy and sustainable sources of energy, and offer a balanced strike between the ability to produce green energy and also maintain revenue streams and sustainability when it comes to profitability as well.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. That makes perfect sense. Now, your particular part of this puzzle as the COO of InfraX and you explained earlier on how those different parts of that ecosystem fit together. But for your part of the world in InfraX, what are some of your key goals? How are you working to achieve the goals that we just set out from the pillars?
So InfraX is a subsidiary part of an ecosystem of subsidiaries under Digital DEWA, and we focus on the ICT services. As you know, there are a lot of communication activities go around our operations and the electricity and utility business. So today, how we can monetize and leverage the infrastructure that is being put on the ground for the day-to-day operation, and also be able to extend that value to other customers. Therefore, in order not to disrupt the SCADA business and not to impact the operations, we decided to create a focused subsidiary that will take the spare capacity, utilize the assets, the infrastructure available under the utility business, and start to offer it in a fashion of services and solutions that will help the ecosystem of the subsidiaries under Digital DEWA and provide different means of communication, like utilizing the fiber optic to provide connectivity for enterprise, to link our data center that is today powered by our sister company Moro Hub, and offer those kind of connectivity between the data center and the customers. At the same time, we are talking about InfraX as an IoT service provider in UAE. And as you know, part of any smart grid and utility business activity, the smart meter and smart grid is a crucial point when it comes to the digital transformation agenda of the utility. And the IoT is one of the elements that we need to focus on in terms of providing different technologies, different means of communication, ensure that we connect the customers, the meters, and also connect the not connected in a way that will help us to grasp all the data that is related to our operation. Those data will become a pool of assets that will help us to create a big data application and accordingly enable what is the actual value of AI.
Yeah, it's a really smart way of thinking coming from that background and being able to deliver these really exciting things for the future. You're working with Huawei on a lot of this, and I know there's lots going on in terms of 5G and AI-powered solutions. And I know there's several things that we've talked about already, but maybe if there's any other sort of the use cases, or being able to just give a couple of examples so we can see how this is actually working in the real world.
One of the important things that today we are utilizing Huawei technology with is the low latency requirement when it comes to ensuring that the information is being transformed in a way that we will be able to process the data as soon as we received it. And this kind of application required an optical infrastructure and equipment that will help you to get the maximum amount of data in the lowest latency required. And today we have a network of infrastructure and connectivity that connect DEWA locations, also connect the data centers ecosystems that is available in Dubai. At the same time, we are working with Huawei in different smart technology use cases like the fiber sensing, for example. And this is one of the solutions that we are utilizing the power of Huawei to enable the security inside our substations by being able to capture the vibration that's happening if there's any construction around the substation, for example. This kind of technology will allow us to know ahead before any fiber cut or before any electricity cable is being broken that there is an activity around this area and there is a dense kind of vibration that will help us to send or dispatch people to make sure that the operation will not be disrupted.
Before it's even disrupted.
100%. Before anybody coming and having any issue that may cause a blackout or an issue with the grid, we make sure that we also have a proactive approach and utilize such technology to ensure the sustainability and the reliability and availability of the electricity grid.
Fantastic. I know that's just one of many examples that we could talk about, but it's a fantastic project, and I think a lot for lots of other people to look at and learn from. So best of luck with the future. It sounds like a really exciting project. I know I'm going to keep an eye on everything that you're doing, but thank you for coming and talking to Total Telecom.
My pleasure. Thanks for giving us the opportunity.